Who is in Nigel Farage's new Reform top team? Reform UK has appointed the party's spokespeople on the economy, business, trade and energy, home affairs and justice and education, skills and equality. Reform UK has announced its new top team as Nigel Farage seeks to prove his party is not a one-to-man band. As Reform is not the official opposition to, and only has 8 MPs to the 4 new roles are not part of a formal shadow cabinet. Those with portfolios will be the party's spokespeople on specific issues. Politics latest. Farage quite proud of forcing local elections U-turn. However, Mr. Farage insisted his party was the voice of opposition to the Labour government as he unveiled his first frontbench appointments. 2 of the 4 given spokesperson roles are recent Conservative defectors too, and the most experienced politicians, having both been senior ministers. Robert Jenrick to Economy. Mr. Jenrick, a former Communities Secretary under Boris Johnson, was named Reform's economic spokesman barely a month after joining the party from the Tories. He said he would be a voice for the millions of people who are being failed by this Labour government, and pledged Reform would put together the most comprehensive plan of any political party to fix Britain's broken economy and cut the welfare bill. Having switched from the Conservatives in January after being unceremoniously ousted by Tory leader Kemi Badenoch, when his defection speech was found on a photocopier by staff, Mr. Jenrick was one of Reform's biggest signings. The former Housing Secretary, Immigration Minister, and Shadow Justice Secretary has previously denied being offered a role within Mr. Farage's top team before defecting. Richard Tice to Business, Trade and Energy. Mr. Tice will head up Reform's business, trade and energy policies, and proposed a new super department aimed at increasing growth to 4% of GDP. He said the UK needs cheap energy to be a rich nation, which involves using its oil, offshore and onshore gas. Mr. Tice said the party would focus on using oil and gas to help boost the economy and would abandon net to zero targets. The multi-to-millionaire businessman to turn to MP led Reform for 3 years until Mr. Farage decided, ahead of the 2024 election, he was going to be leader instead. A net-to-zero skeptic, Mr. Tice has been the party's deputy leader since then and was elected as Boston and Skegness's MP in 2024, having served as an MEP for the East of England prior to that. Zia Yousaf to Home Affairs and Justice. Mr. Yousaf, who is not an MP, will take the lead on home policies including immigration. The multi-to-millionaire businessman, whose medic parents came to the UK from Sri Lanka in the 1980s, said the sheer scale of immigration over the last 3 decades has broken Britain. He said if Reform won the next election the party would stop the boats, deport illegal immigrants, leave the ECHR, take on radical Islam and forcibly deport foreign criminals. Mr. Yousaf, the party's former chair, has served as head of policy and was previously head of Reform's Department of Government Efficiency. The multi-to-millionaire was Reform's largest donor in the run to up to the 2024 general election and has become a prominent spokesman, especially on immigration. Suella Braverman to Education, Skills and Equality. Reform's latest Conservative recruit, and as a former Home Secretary to the party's most experienced MP to Ms. Braverman will head up its education policies. A former chair of Britain's strictest school, Michaela Community School, she said Reform would replicate the school's success across the UK, restore freedom to our schools and restore authority to our teachers, while delivering a patriotic, balanced curriculum. She promised to ban social and gender transitioning in all schools and to ensure fewer people go to university, with 50% of young people going into the trades instead. Ms. Braverman said Reform would get rid of the Equalities Department and build a country defined by meritocracy, not tokenism, personal responsibility, not victimhood, excellence, not mediocrity, and unity, not division. The remaining Reform MPs who have not been given a job. Lee Anderson to Chief Whip, ex to Tory, and the first sitting MP to defect to Reform. Sarah Pochin, to Reform's first female MP after winning the Runcorn and Helsby by 2 election in May 2025. Danny Kruger to former Conservative Shadow Minister who defected in September 2025. Andrew Rossendale to the longest to serving MP. He has been Romford's MP since 2001, who defected from the Tories in January.